From the outside looking in, you see picture perfect. Just your average teenage girl making it in the world. You see the highs, but not the lows.
My heels.
Every day at 8 o'clock in the morning, I have to have my tablets. Unless I'm getting up for uni, I'll end up going back to sleep.
Hi. Hey. I'm surprisingly nervous. It's because there's a camera here. I'm answering questions. I've never been given any.
Explain your relationship.
I met you on this course, but I knew you a little bit before that. I didn't properly know you, but like I knew of your existence in Portsmouth College, which was great. But it wasn't until this course that we properly got to know each other. And
what is this course? Big it up. Hype it.
I've known this course.
Look down the camera lens.
It's a course in a college that exists.
Okay.
We are doing creative enterprise, and it's lovely and it's beautiful.
And a little promo for the course.
And it's
Yeah.
great.
You're welcome, Paul.
Numero dos.
Fix my hair.
Relationship with Gracie is absolutely beautiful. She's our youngest granddaughter and we love her to bits.
I mean, very similar to Sam, except I didn't know you before this course. I did not have the pleasure of even having your acquaintance at Portsmouth College.
That's a lot of long words that I
I use long words, bitch. Found you through this course, and I'm so goddamn glad I did, because you are a absolute fantastic human to know.
My name's Kirsty, and I am Gracie's older cousin. I'm 22 years older than Gracie, so I'd say we had more of like an aunt-niece relationship rather than a cousin relationship. I certainly feel much more protective towards Gracie.
I don't think there's a word like known in the universe that exists to like get near how I can describe. You are like one of the funniest people I've met, but like for the reasons of like whatever I think is funny, you think's 10 times funnier. Like I will laugh at something and then you will just die on the floor and I'll have to like die with you. You make something 10 times funnier by being there, and I think it's great. The energy you exert is beautiful, but at the same time, you're also very caring. And you're also very good at giving gifts, and that scares me because that's something that I need, and I will never understand how you do that.
She's kind, generous, beautiful girl, always willing to help anybody, especially us, and since I've been ill.
Caring, funny, stubborn.
Oh yeah.
Hardworking, workaholic, creative as fuck. Slightly obsessive over certain things. Tom Felton. And
Wow.
just honestly the most caring, fabulous, high energy person you will ever meet. Yes, as Sam said, you're incredibly caring, you're incredibly funny, your energy just helps me get up, which is fucking helpful because I'm a boring bitch.
Gracie is a very kind, loving and determined young girl. She is really passionate about her arts and crafts, and whatever she sets her mind to, she gives it 100% and always follows it through and does her best. She's very determined and she knows her own mind. She is surrounded by family and friends who love her to bits. And I think this is what helps to give Gracie the confidence to be who she is.
It is terrifying 24/7. It's not something that you always think about. You don't always go Gracie, you go epilepsy. But like, whenever you think about it, you realize it's like, oh god, like that can just happen, and that scares me a lot. And then when I think how I'm scared, I think like you have to live with that every day, and I'm even more terrified for you. Genuinely. It's scary and sad, and I don't know. I don't know if I'd be like ready for a situation. I don't know what I'd do there. I feel like I'd just panic, and that unnerving. And if that's unnerving for me, then for you, it's like...
Nope.
Well, we have to consider Gracie a lot of the time for whatever we do, but the good thing is she's been 4 years without, and as long as she takes her medication, nothing will change. Everything's fine with her.
A bit like Sam, it's slightly terrifying. Not constantly though. It comes in like waves. It's whenever you turn to me and you're like, I'm shaking, and I'm like, shit.
You have your phone out ready. You're like, oh god.
I'm like, right, I'm getting you chocolate now. It's mainly just certain things that you talk about that I'm like, keep an eye on her. Like, mum instincts kick in even more than normal, even though I'm not a mother. I don't know why I did that.
Clarify.
The mum friend instincts kick in a lot about it, like making sure. I mean, you're good with taking your meds, so I don't have to hound you about that. But like enough sleep, and that's why we made you cut down to 1 cup of coffee, because you said that you'd researched it and there was increased risk. So I immediately went like, shit, no, we're cutting you down. Like, we needed to anyway because you were addicted. But when you then researched that, I was like, no, we're cutting her down for her own sake. So it's just bits and pieces here and there when you say certain things that I kind of get into shit, like glancing over at you a bit more and being like, is she okay? Like, that kind of stuff.
When Gracie had her first seizure, I couldn't believe it. I hadn't actually realised up until this started that epilepsy was something that could just happen to anybody at any time. To be honest, I hadn't really thought about it. So after Gracie had had her first seizure, we carried on as normal, and we took Gracie out on a family day out to the cinema, and it was there that Gracie had her second seizure. I think for me, actually witnessing what was happening and what Gracie was going through was a real eye-opener. It made me realise just how real it was and just how hard Gracie's journey, well, and our journey as a family was going to be until we managed to get it under control with medication. For me, what it meant in the early days was that every time I was around Gracie, I was on edge. I was always watching, I was always listening out, because you just never know when it's going to happen or if it was going to happen again. Fast forward a couple of years and now we know that it's under control with Gracie's medication. I've got to the point now where I haven't forgotten that she's got epilepsy, but I don't really think about it anymore. It's not at the front of my mind, unless we're going to be somewhere where there could be flashing lights or something that could be a trigger. But now I just feel like things have got back to normal.
Well, first, if I couldn't drink coffee, I wouldn't live here. I would not be having a great time. I've just downed a Monster energy drink. You know, I just had that and I was like, oh great, I'm feeling awesome now. And like, you can't do that. That's depressing. Then also you can't drink alcohol, which is also depressing for me because I also love alcohol. But I mean, probably shouldn't put that in there. But
you're of age, it's fine.
I'm of age, it's okay. It's okay to
Other than in America.
Other than in America, but this isn't America, this is England.
Okay.
But like,
right.
It's scary because you have to wear a watch all the time.
Gracie has been wonderful with it. I think she's handled it very, very well. She's obviously got to be very careful, and there's lots of things she can't do anymore, which she really, would have liked to have done. So it has affected her to a certain extent, but we don't feel that it's affected her too much. She started doing lots for herself and for other people, and even to the shops and things, and she's a lovely girl.
So how I think having epilepsy has affected Gracie, I think it's affected her life in a massive way, that nobody would actually ever be able to understand unless they've gone through this themselves. So small things that everybody would take for granted. Riding your bike to school by yourself. Gracie had to stop doing that because it was just far too dangerous, the risks were too high. Things like going to a cinema where there was going to be flashing lights, or going on a ride where there was going to be flashy lights. Also having late nights or early mornings. That is one of Gracie's triggers. She needs to have a certain amount of sleep. So I think for Gracie, in the early days, I think it knocked her confidence, because all of a sudden you've got an illness that you don't know when it's going to happen to you. You don't know if it's going to happen again. And also, when it does happen, it was very distressing for everybody around Gracie, but obviously when Gracie would come to and wake up from her seizure, she would be very confused. She didn't really she didn't remember anything that had happened during that time. So yes, I think having epilepsy affected Gracie's life in a massive way. I think it stopped her doing things that a child without epilepsy would have done without thinking twice. However, I feel now, because it is under control with the medication and Gracie knows her triggers and she knows to be careful, I think it's made her a very sensible girl. She knows that she needs to be cautious, and she knows needs to be careful. And now I don't think anybody would know that Gracie actually had gone through all of the past couple of years and what she's suffered, because she's come out fighting like she always does. So for Gracie now, apart from having to take her medication, I don't see that it actually affects her at all anymore. I don't think she's let it hold her back. I don't think she's let it stop her. If anything, I feel it's made her more determined that she is going to get on and she is going to live her life how she wants to and achieve what she wants to do.
Fucked up more than it's affected us. Well, you have to get up every day at 8 AM to take the tablets, despite how quickly you might fall asleep afterwards and then oversleep. You constantly have to have that watch on, that if you move a little too much it thinks you're having a seizure. You've constantly got to be wary of various things. Like, it's constant for you. Whereas we only have certain periods where we have to worry about it for you, or like with you. You have to worry about it 24/7. That's a constant.
Over a lifetime, 1 in 26 people will be diagnosed with epilepsy.
I
And you have
can't
people who-
remember what 5 is in
Uno,
Spanish.
dos, tres, cuatro, cinco.
Cinco! Numero cinco!
She
What
doesn't know Spanish.
Don't, I didn't use Spanish.
should more people know about epilepsy?
Everything. I think I knew a smidge more than Sam. I knew that there were various parts of it. I knew it wasn't just strobe lights, though that was my main experience with it. The warnings, watching through performances and going, how the fuck do epileptic people watch this? Even I can't watch it, and I'm like, oh, God. And just research it, because there's so many people that you could meet going through your life that will have it in varying forms, whether it be very serious or like very minor and low key. So many people are going to be affected by it that you won't know. So research it, learn, expand your knowledge, and be aware and prepared for if you should ever become friends with or just run across someone who has epilepsy. It can't hurt you to be more knowledgeable about a situation like this. that's not a thing that can hurt people?
It's scary. That's definitely one. It's scary and it affects people a lot more than I think you know. Because when I think epilepsy, it's like, okay, you can't be around like flashy lights, and I thought that was it. I thought that was like the end of. But now that like I've like just been friends with you, I've known so much more, and it's a lot scarier than I realized. So it's like, I don't know how to describe. Just don't be stupid about it. It's fun to like joke about it sometimes, but don't take it as it is just a joke. It's very serious, and taking that from someone whose like entire life I like to make jokes. I think I've made maybe 1 or 2 jokes about epilepsy, and each time I've been like like with the I don't even think I have actually. I don't remember ever making a joke.
I don't think you have.
That's scary for me. That's how serious this is. All right. Yeah.
It would be nice if everybody did know about epilepsy. There's an awful lot of people that have no idea whatsoever about it, and it's a shame, really.
So, I think everybody should be aware of what epilepsy is, and also that epilepsy can actually happen to anybody and can affect anybody. It's not something that you've done wrong, it's not something that you're born with, it's something that can just happen. So you could be perfectly healthy, you could have a perfectly normal life, and then just one day you have a seizure and your whole world and the world of the people around you is turned upside down. I think people should know what to do if somebody starts having a seizure in front of them. And I think everybody should have a basic first aid knowledge, just so they would know how to help and potentially save somebody's life if you're ever in that situation. I also think it's really important to know that it is something that can be managed and controlled by medication. So actually, it's something that can be treated and potentially that you could never have a seizure again. I also think it's very important to recognise and appreciate the very small things that we take for granted that somebody with epilepsy can't. So very small things, like in the early days, before Gracie had got her diagnosis and before she was on her medication, if we went somewhere, we were going out for a meal and we sat down at the table in chairs, if there was a bench seat or stool, Gracie wouldn't be able to sit on that bench seat. She'd have to sit on the chair because it had a back on it. So if she did start to have a seizure, at least she wouldn't just fall backwards. She would be supported by the back of the chair. It's small things like that that I think we all take for granted, that we can just go about doing whatever we want to do without having to think about the small details.
What is the solution? Epilepsy can be treated with inexpensive and effective anti-epileptic medicines, resulting in 70% living normal lives.
Knowledge is power, bitch. Use it.
No.
1/3 of people with epilepsy experience depression and anxiety, the most common comorbidity of the disease.
To some of you this is going to seem ridiculous, but I've been clearing out my wardrobes and I came across this jacket. Now if you know me well, I used to wear this jacket loads back in year 7 and 8 before my epilepsy started. And it just brought back all the memories that seemed before my epilepsy started. Everything was so much better in my life. Since everything was filmed, I had another 2 seizures back the day before my birthday last year, so the 28th of August 2021. Oh god. And it's really thrown me off track. I'm doing this because I need to get it out. I want people to understand a bit more about epilepsy, that it's more than just seizures. As you're watching this is Epilepsy Awareness Month. This has been in the making for well over a year, and I thought this month was the right time to post it. I've really tried to be open about how I'm feeling and how epilepsy makes you feel. As I said, majority of it was filmed before the other 2 seizures, so, and I'd been so long without one, and then on the day before my birthday I had one in the morning at work and then one at home in the kitchen, and as you can imagine, it's still affecting me because it's a big thing to go that long without one, and I was doing so well and I was doing my driving. And now I have to wait. The only thing I'm thankful for is that I have all my family around me supporting me and my friends. I try not let people see this side of it. I have my down days, and today's one of them, and the jacket just sent me. Majority of the time I'm fine, but today I've had a good day. I've had a really good day and that just threw me off. I'm gonna go have a break. I'm talking to the camera before I even continue. I think I've said everything I want to say, but before I even try to do anything else. Wow, I've been filming for 4 minutes. 2 minutes of that is probably crying. Oh god. Right. BRB. The 2 seizures allowed me to really just take a look back and appreciate the little things in life. This year I've really pushed myself out of my comfort zone, meeting a ton of new people, and I've just been having a great time. I still have my down days like anyone, but as always I come back out on top and I continue to live my life. I made a caption for a TikTok the other day and it was, what was it? It runs deeper than just having seizures. That's epilepsy for you. Yes, seizures are awful as it is, but it's more than just having the seizures. The mental strain of it and the constant worry is draining. The worry of judgment from other people yeah, it's a lot to deal with, but we'll get there. Together we will get through this. I just am here to try my best and make more people aware. I feel like I've been dealt this card because I can bring change to people who are worse off than me. I see myself as very lucky that yes, it's bad that I have the seizures and it's not fun that I have epilepsy, but where it's still a milder case and I'm not having them every day, I feel like I can really use my experiences and try and help as many people as possible. Much as this has all affected me, I'm just thankful for everything and everyone I've got around me. This is not the end. I will get back to driving. I will. And just because I have epilepsy doesn't mean that things aren't out of reach and I can't achieve my dreams, because I'm already doing them. Some of the things that have happened are beyond insane and I'm so thankful. Quite simply, I refuse to let epilepsy win. To everyone watching this right now, I thank you. I just want more people to know about the condition and understand that it's more than just seizures, but at the same time, that so many, if you just knew a little bit more, it could save someone's life. I guess I'll film an outro after I've been crying. I hope you've enjoyed this documentary style video. The battle continues. Make sure to subscribe if you're not ready for more happy content. I love you all so much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really love you all so much. Yeah. Oh God.
She gone crack.
She gonna cry.
She gone crack.
Just saying, I didn't call her out this much, you know.
That's what I'm here for. Virgo Ravenclaw, I'm here to expose you.
How does
That was cringy.
my
Quattro.
You can remember Spanish, I'm proud of you. Was it French? You never know.
Where's my phone?
Oh my god!
Timing, Alfie!